to Retro Encounter, RPG fans' bi-weekly podcast on all things retro RPGs. I am your host today, Ben Love, and today is episode 471, where we'll be talking about part 2 of Star Ocean, the second story. And luckily, I have a lovely panel of returning guests helping me out. So let's get started and introduce them, starting with you, Audra Bowling.
Hi-ho.
And Matt Wardell.
Dum-dum, you're an idiot.
And Rob White.
I'm your woman.
And Steph Sybydlo.
Yippee!
I forgot we said we were going to do the battle quotes for the intros this time, but you guys picked some very good ones.
I've got like a whole list here. I was like, I'm just going to be spontaneous. I'm going to go with this one.
So
Yeah, that was a good one. That was good. Wait, whose is that one? Who is
Opera.
Oh, operas? Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Like,
I did want to do
on
the
that
dying
point,
one,
like,
but I didn't want to scare people.
You don't want to be too morbid.
Trauma.
These guys again. Oh darn.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
He says it with a lot of good sass too.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I finally did listen to the English voice acting, and I don't know what you guys are talking about. It's awful. I'm like,
Thank
it's
you.
fun. It's fun awful, but like,
Yeah.
It's fun
Yeah.
awful. Yeah, that's kind of my.
the like vacant spaces between every line of dialogue, and then
Yeah,
like,
the voice
Yeah.
direction. I think the
Yeah.
like acting itself isn't that bad, but it is.
No.
Yeah, there's just like weird
Spike Spencer is
pauses.
amazing.
Yeah.
Shinji kills every line he's got to yell.
But yeah, it is very. There are a lot of like weird pauses and awkward kind of things like that. I don't know what happened. Had some issues in the recording booth, maybe.
I
Who
think they just
knows?
recorded it and moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a game for a remake that feels like so high effort in almost every other area, that is like a noticeable glaring flaw.
they're all just sharing one mic and like pointing between each other, like your turn, and then
Yes.
slowly.
Oh my goodness. All right, so today we're picking up, and I believe where we left off was the party arriving on energy need. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't think we really got very far in what actually happens at that point. So this is really where like the story starts to pick up, and you really kind of figure out like what is actually going on. And the party kind of wakes up in this field, and they don't know where they are, and
It's so
they
pretty.
yes, it's very pretty. It is very pretty. And the rest of the party is like, oh, I wonder what happened to Expel. And Claude, of course, kind of knows what.
It's just like.
It's like moving
Grunting
on.
through it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like they kind of like just vaguely explain it at the end too, where it's like,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they
like-
let them go. I forgot about this, but they let them go a very long time not knowing what happened to Expel. Like the rest of the party. Like obviously Claude and then Null and the Needians all know what happened, but they really don't tell them until like the very end. Like, oh, by the way, your planet blew up.
What?
And I guess
Yeah,
I guess that was wise, because at that point they're so like focused on what they're doing that they don't have time to freak out about it. But
You know why
It's
bother
kind of
the
mean, too,
pharmacist
though.
with that kind of information? You know.
yeah.
Anyway, one of the probably great first changes about that whole thing is they actually let you go back to that field, the gardens outside of Need. They didn't let you do that the first time, so once you were there and saw the pretty garden, that was it. This time they actually let you go back, which I think is just a kindness on part of the developers who were like, I wanted to go back there.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't even
Yes.
realize that. There's no like there's not anything there though, right? Like no
Not a
private
thing.
actions
So
or
yeah, that
anything. Yeah.
place and the like secret restrictive research center, like both those places were just one off, but they actually let you go back to them, which again, just kind of a nice kindness.
Yeah, they wanted everybody to appreciate their 3D models environments they spent so much
There you
time
go.
on.
I genuinely wonder, did it take longer to do it now because it's more in detailed, or back then because the technology was worse?
Yeah, well, I
Oh.
mean, I don't know, that pre-rendered backgrounds and stuff I think were pretty time consuming. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a
Yeah,
good
because
that's a
then you had
good
to convert it
question.
to like 2D. Some of them are animated.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, I wonder if it was
Mhm.
tricky. But this is off topic. Yeah, pretty garden. Then we go to a city that looks straight from the future of the 90s or something.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very 90s. So they go to I believe it's called Centropolis, right?
Yeah.
Great name.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
very creative.
Yeah.
They only had like
And
millions of years to come up with that one. Yeah.
Oh my god, they keep rubbing it into. It's like this place is 100 million years old. Like you can't even tell.
Yep. And they talk to Mayor Nall. They walk into like a transporter that conveniently like pops them off right in the mayor's office, which is, that's nice.
Welcome.
And
Did you pay your taxes? I'm kidding. Come on, you got to save the world. Like, huh?
and
What?
then they talk to Mayor Nall, who then basically like info dumps on them
Oh yeah.
a bunch of what's going on. Because I guess at this point the party, like, they found these 10 weirdos who they just fought and were defeated by, and they have no idea who they are or what is really going on. And so thankfully Mayor Nall gives you kind of a helpful bit of background on what's going on, who the 10 wise men are, um, and where you're at, which is energy need, which I believe need was destroyed, or it was destroyed beyond repair by the 10 wise men when they originally came about.
Mhm.
And or
Did you do the Chisato side quest?
yes.
It's really annoying they would lock that off. Like they would lock that out to a party character. Say love you.
Yeah. And so he kind of gives you a little bit of background about like the 10 wise men and how they were defeated before, and them coming back and everything, which is useful information for the party. And yeah, so after that, the party's very gung-ho about defeating the 10 wise men, and Mayor Nall kind of tells them, well, this is the only way that you can potentially get back home. So he sends them to the North City, um, to acquire something called a synard. And then I believe at this point, once you walk around in Centropolis, this is where Chisato first shows up, like following the party around because she is a reporter, and I guess this party of random backwoods weirdos is the most exciting thing going on on Need at the moment. So
So I do like how they like establish that like need is actually a lot more advanced, but they deliberately hold it back.
hmm
Yeah, like stuff like weapons and stuff, like they like I guess do not trust with the public.
Yeah, I guess they say they're like pacifists, right? Which is kind of funny because then they also have like a whole town devoted to like making weapons. Which
Mm.
is,
I don't
Oh
think it's
yeah.
distinctly like they're pacifists. I think it's just like they're just given certain sanctions to be allowed to make weapons, but they're not allowed to use them. So like they're very much like prohibited in a lot of ways.
yeah.
Yeah. I think because of like what I kind of got from that is that the Chisato quest where you like decode the classified files that tell
Yeah.
you the history of the
Funny enough, the only reason to visit Prince Bridge, it's not a story place at
Mhm.
all.
I really love it though when games hide like quite
Yeah.
intense story stuff behind side missions. I find it really
Yeah.
interesting. But I guess because like the planet was such it sounds like they were a bit of a like dictatorship in the past that potentially kind of went a bit OTT with their technology and weaponry. Maybe
Yeah.
they're more like we're not going to do that anymore because of what happened last time. So they're like
Yeah.
purposefully restricting the use of it.
Honestly, I got a lot of vibes of like real world Japan from Need in that regard. It's like they're not,
Yeah, I could
there's
see
like
that.
sanctions against them, like,
Mm-hmm.
defending themselves to a certain degree, right? And like, and also like the retro futurism too. I'm like, yes, the far future where we use fax machines in our office building, and it reminded me
The old
in
game
that
had
way
like the
too.
fat computers with the big backs. It was
Hmm.
always very fast. Like even back then, we couldn't imagine like flatter computers.
Yeah, and I guess to some extent the sorcery globe or the symbol of annihilation, I guess, are kind of, you could see like a comparison to like a nuclear weapons in that way too. So yeah, I think, Matt, that is a good catch. I think there's definitely elements of, real world kind of uh, politics and history kind of playing a role in how um, the developers kind of crafted Need and their backstory and everything.
Mm.
And I guess, you find out later that the 10 wise men are also kind of like living weapons themselves, and so it makes sense that after, having this horrible, almost society ending thing come about because of the creation of the 10 wise men, that they would try to put the kibosh on on the rampant excesses of their technology and all that. Yeah.
I'm just
And
sad
yeah,
that we
you.
couldn't see the like super futuristic toilets. That's what I was really hoping for.
I'd kill to know what's in store.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, the city hall location is like 4 floors, and most of it doesn't have any, um, like relevance. So they do pretty much show you like a lot of mundane life of Need, except for the toilets. So
Yeah, like it's funny because like the other like people in the building like just gossip about like mundane stuff like divorces and things
Mhm.
like that, like office gossip. Like I thought like it kind of like gutted the fantasy element a little bit, or like the like fantastical element, but like that also
Mhm.
grounded it in a funny way. But
Yeah, I like the contrast between like the kind of like traditional fantasy of Expel, and then you get to Need, and it's like, oh, this is like modern life, kind of, and all the
yeah,
mundanity of modern life. Yeah. And you get the sense too, like I feel like that kind of end of history kind of idea that was going on in the 90s is kind of going on and here with Need, like the idea that they're so advanced that they've kind of reached the end of their, there's no horizon to like go past anymore. They've kind of like reached the final evolution of society, and so then everything is just kind of, we don't have to worry about world changing events anymore. It's just kind of mundane
Like,
stuff
and they
going
just
on in
like
our
lock
lives.
themselves in it too. Like nothing
Hmm.
coming in, coming
Oh,
Mm.
out.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Which is just kind
yeah,
of a little sad. And they have one city for fun things and one
yeah.
city for weapons they can't use.
yeah. Yeah,
Flat
it's
Earth
a
is like
very
the end all be all.
It does look cool though. Like it is
yeah,
quite
It
different.
does.
Need
Yeah.
is,
it's
or
very
sorry,
cool.
Expel is just a planet, and Need is like a weird field.
Yeah, just like this like chunk of a planet with this big like energy dome around it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's a very, I mean, it's an interesting place. And oh, I did think it was funny too that like when um like Chisato like works in that city hall, so they're like, there's no separation between the government and their journalism. It's just like all.
It is kind of funny too. So like supposedly they never really say it out loud. Like Need kind of comes back in Star Ocean 4 with the EN2, which people suppose
Oh
means energy need 2.
yeah,
Oh.
I
What?
don't
I
know
have
how it
never
fits.
heard that before. That's
I forgot about that.
amazing.
They're super duper duper futuristic. So that one is actually super futuristic. This one is kind of a little holding back. But yeah, that one's really futuristic. They have the pointy ears, and
Oh.
Yes, they
Yeah.
yeah, and
do.
so like yeah, they don't say it. And when you're there, the music, it actually does play as a remix of "Stabbed Sword of Justice."
Wow,
Wow,
that's mind blowing,
it
Steph.
is.
Gosh.
Cool. But yeah, so like I don't really know how it fits into the story because like I feel like they kind of I don't want to get ahead, but like I feel like they established that like this is the end of need by the end of the game, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't really quite understand. But it's good they don't really. Maybe they did have other pockets of Needians out in the galaxy, which is kind of fun to think about. Because yeah, like I kind of some of the schematics of like how this super advanced civilization is just kind of hidden. I don't know. It doesn't make sense or doesn't sound too realistic or practical. So it sounds like they kind of worked around it in a Star Ocean way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's a good point too, Steph, about how like they're kind of like trying to show you like that this society is like on at its like end, right? For
Yeah.
what'll happen later in the story. And so I think it's trying to like acclimate you to the idea of that eventuality
Yeah.
that you're kind of rapidly heading towards. Which is sad, but we'll get there.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah.
um
North City or no Central North City? Yeah, North
no,
City.
North
I
City,
think
yeah.
it's North Sydney. Yeah.
Yeah, because they need the power of a synard, and so at North City they have this facility where they're making these signers, and the synard is like some kind of creature, like
It's like an energy dragon or something. I don't
energy.
know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. It's kind of interesting looking. It looks a lot like what's that? The Pokemon from Pokemon Violet, the legendary or whatever. I
Oh
can't
yeah,
remember
yeah.
its name, but that's what it looks like.
Yeah. Not right on. I forgot.
uh
Uh,
Miraidon, yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Kind of like a mix between like a biological and like mechanical kind of being almost. And so they have this facility where they like genetically engineer them, I guess. And you have to fight one. I actually thought this was like one of the more difficult fights in the game,
It is hard.
surprisingly.
Yeah.
It has like this like breath attack that's like really, it comes out really quick and then it just like stun locks you.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, you have to fight that, and then they make it using like, I guess they pull DNA from everybody in the party to like create the cyanide, and that is like, I don't know, it's supposed to like make, that's how they create it, to like bind it to you, or that it's supposed to have all the elements of each person. But I guess because they have such like a weird mix of people, they think that that's part of like why the Sinar didn't come out correctly, um, which is kind of an interesting idea. I don't, it doesn't really go anywhere because
No.
of what
Yeah,
happens
like they
later.
made a
But
good idea about the genetic engineering, and then they're like, nope, let's not
yeah,
cover that right now.
Yeah,
it's
we
like
have too
it's like
many
they watched
sci-fi
Jurassic
elements.
Park and then they were like, oh, that's a
Yeah.
neat idea, and then
I thought it was very like Evangelion coded. You know what I
oh,
mean?
that's
Like
true.
Yeah, that's
around
fair.
a
Yeah.
similar time. Like just
Yeah.
like here's another disturbing sci-fi element to just like chew on, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. But then, so what they tell you is that, okay, well, this one didn't work out, but there is like a natural wild cyanide that is in this place called the Endangered Species Protection Zone. And so they send you out there, and then once you get there, that's where you meet Noel, who is a zoologist who lives in like a little shack out in the Endangered Species Protection Zone by himself. So, but he's he's a pretty good party member. I feel like his role is mostly like as a support or healer.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
tweaked him a lot this time around too. He gets a really good ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, he's quite useful. If you're, if you don't want to use, um, oh my god, I'm blanking on. Sorry.
Rena?
Reina, thank you. I don't know how that happened.
Whatever.
Sorry about that. If you don't
Old
want to
blue
use
hair.
Reina, yeah.
Oh, blue hair. Love her.
If you don't want to use Reina for healing, you can use Noel. And yeah, he's pretty good. And I don't know, I feel like of a lot of the party members, he's like the most forgettable maybe. Because he's very like nice and like kind of mild mannered.
Mm.
Well, he's nice. What more do you
Yeah.
want?
He's just a chill guy hanging out with the animals in the
With
woods.
the
Yeah.
animals.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
love like rejecting him. It's like, let me go with you. It's like, no,
No.
stay with the animals. Oh no, it's gonna blow up anyway. Boom.
Yeah,
He
and
ended up being my last party member, actually.
Yeah, he was
I
mine
didn't-
this
Yeah,
time
yeah.
actually as well.
Mhm.
Oh, can you like come back around it if you don't get him the first time and get him
No.
after?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sadly.
You do or you don't. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's too bad he doesn't like even kind of join along for the ending or just for the story. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about that soon.
Yeah, I guess if you don't get him, then you have to feel bad because I guess he dies on the planet.
Would have been
God.
useful to have one living male, but no, we took
Yeah.
you know.
And I guess
Nope.
is that a consequence of Welch being in the game?
I wonder, because I think I had
Yeah.
gotten, in my first playthrough, I got Chisato and Noel in the
Yes.
PS1, and then like this time I got Welch, and then I had to choose between them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I didn't get Welch, and so I did have Noelle and Chisato in my party. So I think adding her in, poor Noelle, he gets
Although
kicked off.
I could only have
Poor
one of them
Chisato
this
and mine.
time. I didn't have Welch this time, and I could only have one of them.
Oh,
But I think maybe if you get Opera and Ernest
oh,
together,
because
Yeah.
yes, that's right. Because they're like a two.
Yeah,
they're
they
like a
take-
2-for-1.
yeah.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never used Noel. Like I didn't recruit him either. I recruited Chisato, but I had Welch as well. So I think my party was just full at that point, or I knew to aim for Chisato instead. But yeah, Welch didn't even like leave
Yeah.
any impression on me. Like I'm like, oh, you actually want to come with me? Like, what can you do? So yeah, I just left them behind. But is he like what is he? is he like a beast
He's-
man or something?
Oh yeah, because the ears.
Yeah, he has the
Yeah.
weird ears. I think he's supposed to just be a Needian.
Yeah.
Well, like you also have
Oh,
some
just,
fell
like,
pools
hairy.
down in Expel, like who have the like kitty cat ears.
But
Oh,
his
that's true.
illustration has the big long ears. This is like what I was saying
Yeah.
in the last one, where some of the sprites don't match what they look like in their artwork.
Yeah,
He's got the wrong kind of ears.
There is a point like towards the end where when Need is going, when they're telling them that like Need is going to be destroyed, where Null does say directly to Noel and Chisato and I guess Reina that they will be the last Needians. So he definitely is a Needian, but
Mhm.
he has the weird ears. I don't know. I guess it's supposed to make him look more like animalistic because he's like one with the animals and nature and stuff. But
So he's just hairy.
yeah,
Okay, I'm looking at his other
They sort
portraits,
of like
and he
found
does
the
have like the
best
tuft.
adaptation between, where it's like they kind of give him like fuzz on the ears.
hmm
You know, his sprite looks a bit more like straight up fur, like straight up kitty cat ears. But like, yes, they
Mhm.
kind of found a happy medium with the other versions of him.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been easy to negotiate like the difference between the sprites, the original art, and find what works.
yeah, yeah. And I kind of like him as like he's like the kind of an older male party member, and he's not like all brooding and stuff like Diaz. So, and he's I prefer him kind of to Bowman as that kind of party member because
Yeah.
Bowman is yeah.
Serial cheater
kind of-
Bowman.
Yes. So anyway, you take him in to the endangered species protection zone with you, and then you go through this cave, and at the end is the Synard, and it basically like forces you to fight it.
Of course.
And then, but this is important because this is like your new method of transportation.
I love that they give it to you so early. Just go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Get the airship of this game, if you will. And I really like the 3D model for the Synard that they did for the for Second Story R. It's kind of a big contrast to like all the sprites and everything. Like even the bunny that you can ride around on is a sprite, but instead they decided to do like this 3D model for the Synard. But it looks really cool, and just like watching it fly around and land and everything, it has like some cool animations.
I'm sure this goes
Um,
without saying, but it looks a lot better than it did in the PS1 version.
yes,
Where it was
yes.
just this kind of static little moving object. It looked kind of
Yeah.
funny. Now it actually like moves, and you can like make it fly faster like Superman.
hmm
You know?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks like a
it
real
felt
like
great in motion.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I think the animations like are a big part of that. It really feels like an actual like alien creature this time,
I
as
really
opposed.
want to know what Gem Drops is working on next. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just the changes here are just very exciting as an old school fan of the game.
Yes. Yes. And so now that you have the Synard, you can kind of um, go around. Oh, well, I guess though, in the cave where, because this is, you throughout this, Chisato is like followed you to North City. She
Oh,
followed
yeah.
you into the endangered species protection zone. And then she's like following you around in the cave where the Synard is. And she like trips and like drops her ID card. And this is like the most important. I think like it's pretty hard to miss the other parts of her quest, but like this is like the part where you really have to like do something to like advance it. So you have to go and pick up the ID card, and then once you get out of the cave and you have the Synard, you go back to Centropolis and then give it to her, and then she'll join the party. Now, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but if I remember in the original, this is like it's like not obvious, right, where the ID card is. Uh, I know in this in Second Story R, like it's very like it's like there's a sprite for the card. It's like right there,
Yeah.
but I feel like this was way more missable in the original.
A lot of this stuff is missable since they don't really denote any sort of quest or anything like that. You know,
Yeah.
you know, even going back for Chisato, I mean, it's not explicitly spelt out or anything like that. You just kind of either have a guide or just have good instinct to keep checking in on the reporter wing of the mayor's office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
last episode you guys all talked about how like the quest markers were so clear, right? And it's one of the few RPGs where like I didn't have to use a guide for almost anything. But then yeah,
hmm
the character recruiting was like really stressful for me because like yeah, you miss one conversation and it's like oh, like you don't get that entire character for the whole game, you know.
Yeah.
I was really careful about like who I was recruiting because I have the intention of like going back and playing with all the other 8 characters that I missed, you know, eventually. But yeah, Chisato,
Or even
I had to look it up.
even some of the private actions too, some of them do have like later follow-ups if you said yes to this earlier,
hmm
right? So like
Yeah.
there is a lot of replay value just in terms of like what can be missed and just even
Yeah.
different options. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, I do think the remake does a good job of like kind of trying to teach you at the beginning, like if you're in a new town, you need to do the hit the private action button and like see what happens. And then you kind of get into the habit of doing that. And if you do that, you generally will see like most of them. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of missable stuff. And then of course, yeah, like you're saying, Steph, like if you depending on what you do in a lot of the private actions, you may miss out on, you know, follow-up ones, and there's really no real indication of that, but I think they're trying to the original was like very vague,
Yeah.
and
This time it's
this
much better.
yeah, this is much better, and I think there's still want there to be a little bit of like mystery
Yeah.
to what's going on. Yeah.
There's like Arena and Claude one where it's um like it's like you can say the nice option, but if you say the like okay, just tell me when you think of it and leave, if you come back you get an even better like stats, like romance
hmm
up for it. It's just not always intuitive, but it's very interesting anyways.
Yeah, I remember that one. That's the one where she like tells you to leave the room, and then if you go back and check on her, and then she gets really mad at you, but it's like actually positive.
The
Oh.
sprite lady is mad at me. I'm sorry. I feel bad.
It was earlier in the game, but like Celine's private action with like the prince that looks
Oh,
oddly
yeah.
like Claude, that was like
Oh,
really
yeah.
cute and fun. I thought that
Oh
was the highlight.
yeah,
And it changed her
yeah,
ending too, like vastly. But
Oh yeah.
yeah. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there.
oh, we're gonna do all 99, I assume. Right?
Well, as many as we want to talk about. So then, after you've gone back and you've recruited Chisato, or, you don't have to. So this part of the game is kind of like they give you like a non-linear section now that you have the Synard, and there's like these 4 fields. and each field is kind of like a different test of the party's attributes or ability to like defeat the 10 wise men. Now why they have these like tests of strength just like spread around energy need, who knows.
This is like the most video gamey part of this
Yes,
game for
Yeah.
it
sure.
is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have like learn from your memory moments, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
How do you guys feel about this in games in general? Because like when a game is like oh, you must collect 8 blah blah blah, I'm like, God no,
Yeah.
like I hate the checklist aspect of that. Do you guys feel that way?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so
Yeah, I mean, it does
predictable.
feel very artificial, right?
I think my favorite version of it is in FF9, where they skip the dungeon and just have you like form little cute parties of 2 to have like girl talk or guy talk and just kind of fight a boss. If you know, you know, but like it's just really cute and funny in that FF9 way.
That's a nice
Yeah.
subversion of it because it's like when they lay out like the number of things I must collect, that's telling me like, oh, there's going to be no twist in the story until I collect all of these. Generally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
that's
do
a good
It's played
twist it,
very
point.
that's great.
straight. Yeah.
It's very predictable. Yeah, because they tell you
Yeah.
straight up like what the things that you need are. Yeah. I've never thought about that, but that's a good point.
I
They're
played this
pretty
back to
unique
back with Wild Arms
dungeons.
2, and it had a very similar like end game thing where
Yeah,
it's like,
collect
oh,
the
the,
orbs.
Yes, it
the
does.
spires and stuff. Yeah, the devil spires.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
Uh,
very tasking. It's very video game tasking oriented, and the fact they're all like named after field of love, field of power, field of intelligence.
Field of courage.
I
Yes.
know. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, Zelda, let's get on with it.
Yeah, it's like
Test your
Triforce
might.
kind of. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But it is, yeah, the dungeons are, I think these are really cool. Well, some of them. I mean, they're not all equal.
Yeah.
But so you can kind of go, you can pick whichever one you want to do first. And I think they suggest you do the Field of Wisdom first.
I
But
did not like doing that one.
yeah, no,
me
me neither.
Very
And
annoying.
I didn't do that one first, I'm sure.
No, that was my last one, and it's like the most involved puzzle, I think. So we can start with that one. So that
I
one
think they
you
jimmied it too from the other one, so it actually is a little bit more confusing now, especially to get all the treasure chests, which they mark. So I'm very much compelled to get all the treasure
yes,
chests.
yes, absolutely, yeah. So you go into like it's like this like square kind of temple looking thing, and you go in there, and then there's just like mirrors, and then you go like each mirror is like a portal to a different part of the thing, and then it's all these like I don't know, like suspended platforms in like the abyss or whatever. And you have to like go around, and then there's like color coded like teleportation spots that are like either red or yellow, and then they will take you to another one, but then going on one then activates the other color. So, and you're having to like activate these devices to then like open up the like actual path or whatever, and it is very time consuming.
I had one of those. I got lost and leveled up a bunch moments.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And then yeah, they dot all these treasure chests are in these hard to find, they're hard to reach places, so you have to like spend all this time like getting, how do I get out to the treasure chest? Okay, then how does this help me like solve the puzzle? I guess it is a test of but I don't know. I don't, these puzzles, like it's one of those puzzles where I don't feel like you can really like plan it out. You just kind of have to like poke around and like experiment. And
Yeah,
there's
it's
no
not too
real
puzzle mind bending. It's just kind
No.
of a trial
exactly.
and error. Yeah.
Yeah, trial and
I-
error. Yeah.
I think it was
Force your way
Paul.
through.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was Paul who talked about how like he hates teleporter puzzles, and as soon as he
Yeah.
said that in like the RPG fan thing, I was like, oh my god, I do too. I didn't even like have a word for it, but I'm like the random element of like here's a puzzle, step on this and see where it
Yeah,
takes you.
step
I'm
on
like
this, here
that's
we go.
not a
Mhm.
puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like a
that's-
memory game. Like it's just testing whether you remember where the thing takes you. And yeah.
There's
It's
a
the
teleport
field of
puzzle in
patience.
Tales of Symphonia that I just never bothered to learn. I was like, okay, this is stupid. I'm just gonna guide this and just forget it.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. I always think of the ones in like the rocket hideout and Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, the
jeez.
spinning,
Yeah, that takes me
right?
back.
Yes.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
spinning.
Yeah.
I'm happy that like the bosses at like these fields are actually like same thing. Like they're actually very punchy. Like they will hurt.
Mhm. Yeah. No,
Uh,
the bosses are very tough. Yeah, and this one actually has like the most unique boss. The Field of Wisdom is like the lackey of like the 10 Wise Men. What's her name? Like Lavar, I think. Is that right? Navar or something like that.
I don't even remember this.
Yeah, she's like their, I don't know, she's like their servant or something. And she's the one that is like waiting for you at the end. Which is kind of interesting because the other bosses are like they're not really characters. It's just more of kind of an obstacle, but um yeah, and then at the end of each of these you get like a memory, and I assume if you're, I played through as Claude this time, and you get like things related to Claude's backstory. And then if you play as Reyna, you get things related to Reyna. So I can't remember which memory is associated with which field, but the
No.
ones for Claude are all like basically like his childhood and his relationship with his father, and kind of like working through that, which I did think that the memories, like they were kind of a nice reward for completing the dungeons. Like there is some kind of interesting details in there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
um like for Claude, like you get the sense like, originally like he's in his father's shadow and everything, but you actually kind of get the sense that like his childhood was very difficult because
Yeah,
his
he probably didn't
dad,
have it easy. Yeah.
yeah, because his
Mm.
dad was like gone all the time, and that was really hard on his mom and him. And there's one of the memories is like this really emotional scene where it's like Claude is like a little kid, and his dad is like home, and he's talking to his dad, and then his dad is like having to leave again, and he gets really upset with him. And I thought that was pretty effective, pretty touching.
That does
Um,
mirror Reina's like flashbacks, which are her like with her biological mother, who she doesn't really remember, who is like
mm,
this scientist who is so devoted to her research, and it's the same kind of thing, where it's like, mommy, like let's play, and she's like, I'm sorry, I have to design this laser to save the world or whatever, and she's pushing Reina away. So I didn't know that there was like that parallel between Reina and Claude. That's quite sweet, actually.
yeah, it's very effective. Is
Mommy
this
issues and daddy issues.
so?
Basically.
This is before you go to like the abandoned weapons lab, right? So if
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
Yes.
playing as Reyna, that's your first introduction then to her mother is through these memories, as opposed to going to that lab, I guess. So that's kind of interesting. They're kind of giving you hints, and her memories are kind of surfacing. I guess being on need, like there's a lot of moments where Reyna will say, like, "Oh, this place feels familiar to me," and like I don't remember it, but I just feel, she like feels a connection to it. And so it's interesting they're like bringing in her mother before you're actually like told who her mother was and like what.
Do
Um,
you ever like get lost on those memories that you barely remember from before you were making memories? You know,
yeah,
like properly. Like it's kind of interesting to kind of dote on stuff that far back.
yeah. That kind of, it's almost like you're not sure if it's a dream or if it's like a real
Yeah.
memory. Yeah,
Or someone
Exactly.
yeah.
else's memory, like a story that you were told. Yeah.
You've told, yeah.
The one with Rena and a dead dog absolutely made me sad because my dog was right beside me when I was doing that. I
Oh,
was like, no, baby. And then I gave her big amounts of hugs that she probably hated, but you know.
Yeah.
doggy issues.
Yeah, I think Rena's were like when she found out how to use her magic the first time, when she arrived the first time. I forget what the last one is. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you
Um,
have you have one where Claude is like there's like another like high ranking person in like the um the Federation, and he's like trying to cozy up to Claude, but it's like clearly only because of his like father. And he's like trying to do like a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of thing, which I thought was interesting. That you're seeing like some corruption in the Federation, and like people just kind of seeing Claude as like an extension of his father, which you kind of get that sense earlier. But I don't know. I feel like these memories are like the more darker or sadder aspects of both Claude and Reyna's kind of origins. And I guess it makes sense that you would have those revealed to you this way, because they're not at things that either they really are at the forefront of their mind or that they would really offer to anyone, right? So the only way you're really going to find out those things is through them kind of being forcefully shown to the player.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then there's also the Field of Strength, which this one is just like a long hallway with a bunch of monsters in it. And
Did anyone else yodel at the top of the mountain?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
oh, well, I was thinking, I was maybe I'm thinking of the Field of Courage, because there's the one that's like the mountain, and then there's the one that's like the tunnel where you get
Yeah, the tunnel is
poisoned.
courage that like
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, so that
And
one's
periodically
might
courage.
is
poisons
the
you.
mountain. Yeah.
Oh,
Might
okay,
is the
yeah.
mountain.
So
And then love is
they're
like the flower thing.
yeah. So the two, like courage and strength and might, are like the I feel like they're the most similar. Like it's just like monster gauntlets, and then the boss at the end is the same, right? It's like the guardian.
I was
Is that
surprised.
right?
Yeah, I didn't expect
Yeah.
them to reuse boss for two of the moments.
Yeah, I did think that was weird too. And like it almost makes you wonder like why are there four? Because
Yeah.
they're so similar.
Padding.
Yes, yes.
I thought it was funny there was more field dungeons than like other dungeons on Need.
Yeah.
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 It's like everything on Need was like pretty much like what's the word? Like mandatory or like necessary to be there. I guess you need it all, but
Nah.
but
Nobody liked that.
got I forgot what I was gonna say now because of that awful joke. Not important, apparently.
The Field of Love is really pretty. They made it a lot more different this time around too. Like they actually did
Mhm.
rejig some of these dungeons, which is pretty neat.
Yeah, and the
yeah,
the
before
field
it was
of
exceedingly simple.
yeah, the Field of Love is, I feel like, is like the most that's like a actual puzzle kind of,
Yeah.
Yeah.
where you have to actually think about and like look at the map and like, oh, where have I been? Where do I need to go? Because when you cross like the bridges, the flowers bloom, but then if you go back over them, the flowers all go away. So you have to like make sure every path has the flowers growing to like proceed.
Yeah.
Um,
It's very pretty.
yeah.
I like that idea. That's actually quite fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it
Um,
uses like the new visuals of the remake very well.
Mm.
Also, yeah.
Did anyone play with like speaking of grinding, did anyone play with like the scouting skill switched on where it's like finding enemies like and you get swarmed with potential
Yes,
battles?
I did. I was
That
like
was pretty
super
cool.
over leveled for almost the entire game because I had it on like all the time.
That was
I like
wild.
to be over leveled and to grind a lot, and I was like, I don't want to spend all my time grinding, so I'm just going to over level instead. So
I love
yeah,
the game throws you the green enemies when
Yeah.
you're like done with it, like, and then you have bodyguard on, and they
Yeah,
just go out and attack
bodyguard.
it for
Yeah.
you. Like that is
Mhm.
so useful, especially for the
Yeah.
chump enemies. Like, yeah, I don't, and it
Yeah.
was such a nightmare in the first Star Ocean because it was just random battles, and like if they were weak, it wouldn't matter. Like you have to fight, the stupid like little thieving goon guys,
Mhm.
regardless. But now, yeah, it's just the enemy icon. They don't touch you if you're over leveled, and your guys might just go out and destroy it anyway.
And you're
yeah.
just
I was
kiting them and like waiting for
Yeah.
the like ching 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 like the knife animation to like kill them all. Like
Mhm.
that was really satisfying in its own way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was using that in combination with the skill that lowers your stats in order to give you more experience as well.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and then you
Oh,
can
yeah.
I
use
did
the
that
food
too,
to
Rob.
up your
Yeah.
experience, and then you can use the tactical formation to up your experience even further.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Yep.
And yeah, like by the end of it, I was gaining like 15 levels per battle. Well, per
Yeah,
battle
it's
set.
wild.
It
Like
was so great.
I was able to max level like every single character like within like I don't know 30 hours or something, like not that overwhelming.
Wow.
Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
it was really fun.
Yeah, this game is just completely bent on just like having you break it. It is
Mhm.
like as long as you take advantage, and again, just a great thing about Trice games in general. Like as long as you take advantage of all the systems, like yeah, it'll be your friend.
What I did find quite crazy though was that like all of the bosses pretty much I found really easy because I was over leveled up
Mhm.
until like the last 3 where suddenly they became
get
really
ridiculous.
difficult.
Yes.
And I was
Yes.
thinking
So
like if
hard.
I hadn't have over leveled and I'd just gone in like at the level most people are at this point, these bosses would have been insane. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, even if you turn the difficulty down, because of like the abilities that they have, I think is what really makes them difficult. Because like turning the difficulty really just changes like the damage numbers and how much health they have,
Mm.
but they're still like the second to last boss, he like casts like all these like death spells and like
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
When you
Yeah.
get him like as the like assault formation kind of like ability, he is the most overpowered one, where he just freezes every enemy on the field for like 7 seconds, and you just kill them.
Yeah.
That like
I
the
was literally actually doing
seconds.
that just when we started podcasting. He absolutely slayed me 3 times, and I was like, okay, time to reevaluate.
And
Now I'm
on that
fishing.
note, without jumping, I it might be jumping ahead, but like the blood armor, or the bloody armor, did anyone else use that like cheat kind of?
No,
You know what I
I
mean?
didn't
Uh,
this time.
No.
I know what you mean. I didn't use it
Oh.
though.
So no, and fun thing about that is like, so after you beat the game, you can actually go challenge like super versions of the 10 wise men on the field and get them as an assault action. I don't know if anyone did that yet.
Yep.
And funny enough, I was gonna say Indalessio, but Gabriel will actually deactivate that.
Oh,
Yeah, so he doesn't
wow.
let you
Really?
cheat. Which
Oh,
tells you
that's
how
cool.
viable the tactic still is.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Yeah, like I 100%ed it, but I didn't realize that he did that to my party. But yeah, for everything else, the super bosses, that's like kind of the only way that I survived everything, was just like feeding the
Bloody
blood
armor trick.
armor.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, and they have that like one attack skill that gives you what absorb 20% of HP for every attack you do, which by the end of the game
Yeah.
is absolutely
Yeah,
busted.
that's really powerful. Yeah.
That and like Sword
Um,
of Life combined, and like there's also the
Hmm.
potential like mana sapping helm, which I didn't even bother using because I didn't need it. But like, yeah, you can
It was
really
probably
break
this
the
run
game.
where I really took advantage of the formations because again, some of these are just straight up broken. Like one
Hmm.
of my favorite ones is the assault shift, which at max, and again contingent that you don't die, but at the max level, items affect everybody, which is my
Oh,
favorite. Which
yeah.
is just my
Yeah, that one's
favorite
really good.
thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's also another useful one when it's at max that like you're immune to like it increases like your defense a bunch, but you're also immune to like all status effects, and that
Yeah,
one is also very useful. Yeah.
stupidly useful. Yeah, again for some of those bosses that just seem to like lay down 3 status ailments in an instant,
Hmm.
like before the battle even really begins. It's ridiculous. Yeah, the game
I,
moves so fast at the end.
I'll say
Hmm.
there were two bosses in the whole game that like gave me trouble, like where I couldn't just brute force my way through, and that's one of them was Raphael, like the super version of Raphael,
Hmm.
Yeah,
because
he was
his
tough.
evasion was so high. Yeah,
Yeah, that was funny.
that was like a real like head scratcher. And then the other one was like earlier in the game. I think it was in like the quarry, or like caves that we just talked about. The like boss that's like a big rock golem that slams the ground.
Meanest
In like,
boss. Oh my
yeah,
god.
because like I just like set my
Oh.
guys to just wail on him like dumbasses, and then like every time you hit him, he just sends a wave of
Oh.
fire back
Yeah,
and
so
kills everybody.
we're
That's
about
like
to
the
get
one
to
boss
that
that
one.
counters
Oh,
the
I'm
over
sorry. I'm
leveling,
sorry.
which I think is
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're about to get to that one. Yeah. So that is the one that you do in the Minai cave, right? Like where you need to harvest like the metal from them or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
like we skipped
Yeah.
ahead a bit, but like basically we try to go fight the 10 wise men. It's moot.
Hmm.
They kick our butts, and
Yes.
then it's like,
Yes.
okay, let's go get some stronger weapons, and then they send us to the cave to get the
Yeah.
ore.
Oh
Yeah.
wait,
It
wait.
is
Can we
actually
not
very
skip the
funny.
scary shark though? What's up with
Oh,
the
the
shark
Oh
thing that
my
Haruki.
you ride?
god, yeah.
Yeah,
What is
it's like
that?
a
So
whale, I guess.
scary
It's
looking.
like a yeah.
I
Yeah,
love that
they
they made it the ultimate fish that you can catch though on Need,
Oh yeah.
which I thought
Yeah.
was really really cute
That's
because yeah, they kind
clever.
of bring it back in a way that way.
Yeah, well,
And
cuz
then
it's weird
Expel has its
like
own super terrifying fish that you can catch that you didn't see in the main game.
yeah, and it's weird too like you go and there's just this giant like whale thing and they're like, "Oh yeah, we have to like I think they like go inside of it to get to
I don't know.
the
That's so
city
weird.
where they're
We
where
kind of
the
monstro it inside.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Yes, like Jonah and the whale. And
yeah.
but you don't like there's no accompanying like real like cutscene or like it's just like a loading screen
Yeah,
basically. So it's
A
kind of
sprite,
bummer.
yeah.
anticlimactic, but yeah, it's kind of cool. So yeah, they go to Phenol, which is like the city where the 10 wise men are like camped out. Or they say it's a city, but it's like basically just like this big tower or whatever.
Yeah.
And you go there with the like military of need and then get your butt handed to you.
I hate the stupid, like, quote unquote army outfits the Law
Oh
Club people
yeah.
have. I don't get them, the really ruffly business. It's
Hmm.
so weird looking. Everyone's wearing like these fancy 2-layered capes.
Yes, it's very ceremonial. Like you can
It's
tell they
so
don't
funny to
really
me.
have to fight anybody anymore because
They just use drones at that point. That's their official
yeah.
drone wear. Yeah.
So then you lose, and so then but they're able to like escape, which is kind of funny. I mean, I this part of the game, like I don't really I don't really know what
Just
the
like
purpose
whatever.
is
Yeah.
behind having you do this.
Padding.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so wait, who was it who said they played Star Ocean 1 first and then they're playing this?
I did.
Audra, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so we did have a big scene at final where you get to hang out with Claude's dad one last time.
Oh gosh. Yeah,
That
that
Oh
was
was
actually pretty
yeah.
upsetting. And like again, without the
yeah.
context of who Ronix is, it doesn't quite hit as hard. It's still very upsetting, but it ain't the same.
And I guess that is like the point of this scene, right? Because that's where the colonists like they kind of see like the energy readings or whatever, and so they and then I guess thinking, well, maybe that's like where Claude is, or they have to deal with like that or whatever. And the 10 wise men are like, oh, well, we this is they're like they have like the floor is like a screen, and then the ship is like on the screen, so they're like standing and looking, and like it's the colonists, and then they like shoot this like beam at it, and the colonist like tries to fire back and like doesn't do anything, and then they shoot again and they destroy the ship. And so I guess it is to provide like more motivation for Claude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
No, that was pretty tough actually. It's
yeah,
like,
and
oh.
he's very upset, obviously,
Mhm.
when his dad is killed. But
No, mine, Papa. But
You
yeah,
don't
no, so that was
see.
actually a really good scene.
yeah, it is a good scene.
And
Yeah,
if you're playing
Yeah.
Rena, you get to do the private action, like so Rena had one when you get to need the first time where she's really upset, and
yes.
then Claude gets his moment where he's like really beating himself up.
Hmm.
I did do the thing where I interrupt him and he just kind of like swallows just whatever gut wrenching feeling he's doing. He just kind of composes himself, which actually kind of hurt to see. But if you just leave him alone, like he just feels rotten.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that was actually pretty sad. Yeah, okay, so then they got you going to the like the ore fields.
Yeah, because so
Uh
now at this point you have to go to their town where they build weapons called Armlock, and to go see like Mirage, who's like this scientist who like develops weapons.
her sprite looks a
Um,
little hilarious, but so it's
yeah.
I don't know, she just got like a really big forehead and giant eyebrows.
Yes, yes.
I love
Um,
it. And she looks really cool in the portraiture too.
she does
Um,
look really cool. Yeah, and then there's
yeah.
also like a portrait for the leader of like the Nedian military too.
Yeah,
It turns
yeah.
out to be Null's daughter, I think. Right?
Oh
Or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like
that's right.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, they're
yeah.
related or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's nice too because
Yeah.
they didn't have this portrait before, so in version 1.0 of the game they actually added a bunch of character portraits.
Oh,
It was
so
actually
these are
nice.
ones that they added with the update. I see.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
didn't have one. Alan from Arlia or Sir
Hmm.
Selva didn't
Didn't
have
have
one.
one. Yeah.
The guy in Prince Bridge, I wanted to say giveaway, didn't have. I don't know why they gave him one. He's got like 3 lines, but
Yeah,
like
well,
yeah, they
most of,
gave
I
him
mean, a
one.
lot of these characters are very like the military lady too. She like barely has any. Was it Mariana? I think is her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has barely any screen time too. But it's cool. It's always cool when they pop up because you're like, oh yeah, like.
This game strikes me as a lot was left on the cutting room floor.
Hmm. Yeah, like maybe these characters like had a bigger role at one point,
There's
but
like a lot of like unique NPCs too that just like never
hmm
get used again. Like
Mm.
in Liqueur Castle is just some sort of nerdy looking science guy with scruffy hair.
oh
He says, "I
yeah.
like coming to the library to do research," and that's it. I don't know why this man has his own sprite. It's so strange to me.
Yeah, or like
There's like a little,
Priestess's dad too. Like he doesn't
yeah, with
have.
the big
Yeah,
chin.
yeah,
I was sad he didn't get a portrait.
yeah.
Looks hilarious. I love it. Um,
But
yeah, I
yeah,
don't know.
so
Parts of this game just kind of baffle me in the best way.
yeah, yeah. It's I mean, there's a lot of little details like that like don't really serve any narrative purpose, but like they do like make the world feel a little more
Yeah,
alive
texture
and
it.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
So yeah, so then you go to Armlock, you meet with Mirage, and I think this is where you go also to like the abandoned weapons facility. And that is where if you're playing as Claude, then this is where you figure out who Reina's mother was, who was like leading the weapons facility and developed this like technology that they're going to then use to bring back Expel, which is like a time distortion field kind of thing, I guess. And that's
Yeah, it
what she
operates like
used.
outside of it and all that because they can't actually build weapons in need or whatever, so they just take you to a different dimension out or somewhere across the universe to do it, which
Yes.
I actually think that's such a cute workaround for a sci-fi story.
Yeah, it's a neat idea. And I guess that's how she saved Reina, was putting her in like this box and then using the like time distortion field or whatever. And then she just happens to end up on Expel.
I was really sad they didn't update her status thing where it shows everybody's age to make her 700 million
700 million years old.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
I really
grandma.
appreciate how like big scale they go with like the numbers. Like it's like not just like 700, not just a million, 700 million. Like I love that.
Yeah.
Okay,
and there's
why
this-
not 100 kajillion at this point? Come on.
Yeah. And it like they've just been complacent the whole time with technology, right? Like you said, like that's mind-boggling. But
and there's this point too where they're like in this forest that's like outside of that the weapons facility, and then there's like this big tree, and like Reina is like saying like, oh, I wonder how long this tree's been here, like thousands of years. And then she's like, but I was here like 700 million years ago, so like the tree was not there. And it's just kind of
Rita and Claude get the little cool down hug moment because she's kind of having a bad day.
Yes.
Yeah, that was sweet.
And it's like it's like kind of a mind-boggling moment of like them kind of trying to come to terms with like the time, the like passage of time, and how much time, it's like they can't really even wrap their minds around like being what is like 700 million years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that was it was a cool moment. And she's like, oh, well, this is probably, it reminds me of the sacred forest, and like that's why she likes to be there or whatever, because it reminds her of this place that she was when she was a baby. But then they after all that, they're like, okay, well, we need to make these like antimatter weapons, I guess.
In a sword.
Yes, in a sword, yes. Which is kind of, it definitely feels like kind of like a little bit of Deus Ex Machina going on here, but like, yeah. So then they have to go to the Mine cave because there are these like beings, and this was an interesting bit of lore too. I thought they're like called the like Bicurians or something, or Barcurians. And they're like living organisms made of metal that were from another planet that the Needians transported to Need to like harvest for making their weapons, which is interesting. And they're like an intelligent, I guess, like race of these like rock metal creatures, and so it kind of gives you that like sense of like, oh, this like, it's kind of like a dark thing under the surface. It's I guess similar to the Synards too, like that Need had been taking like all of these like living creatures from other parts of the galaxy and then like using them for their own ends, almost like livestock or something, I guess. And so you have to go, and this is that boss that Matt was talking about, where it's like a rock basically, and then you attack it, and then it just like reflects back at you like
a wave of fire.
You have to break it constantly so it doesn't do that. So you really got to go break heavy with it.
Okay.
Did any or all y'all do the Maze of Tribulations?
No.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. You have to fight many of them. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, there's a bunch of them in there. Oh, okay,
yeah. It's a common enemy, which is very, very mean.
So what I did was like I must have died like 20 times, like just trying to like brute force it. I'm like, this stupid rock. And so what I eventually did was, because I played as Reina, I had all my other 3 party members just run away into the corner, and he didn't do anything. And as Reina, I just dropped rock after rock on his head. Like, how do you like it?
That's really funny.
And then he got it broke him. It broke his guard, and then we just ran in and killed him in like 2 seconds. Like, so it wasn't really like a smart solution, but it was like smarter than how I'd been playing.
That's clever.
Before.
It's definitely smarter than me. Where I did just brute force it.
Yeah,
just went in an all break method.
Yep, and you can like revive your characters quickly enough to like make up for the damage, and then just like kill it. But you have to like really, really use the skills that like break their guard more than like doing damage or whatever. But that's interesting, man, that you did that, because it's like the radius of like its attack is not the whole um battlefield, so you can just kind of hide in the corner and like snipe
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, because I got 4 attackers going. We were all attack
it.
all day.
Yeah, well, and that makes sense. With that many, you
I
can just
have a
kind
very
of.
aggressive strategy. This is why I die a lot.
It was a very
But
humbling moment for me. Like the whole game, like I kind of flew through it, just like doing what Rob
Yeah.
said, like
Mhm.
grinding. But then when I
Mm.
reached this rock, I was like, I had to like put the controller down and just like calm myself. I'm like, this rock is going to be the end of me if I don't figure this out. And I'm
It's
glad I
definitely
got
how it
around
is,
it.
especially by endgame where it gets so fast.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
one major criticism I'll have is some of the effects get very effecty, that it is kind of hard to see things.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
true.
I
Yeah.
kind of wish they just kept the character portraits kind of on top of things, just because, yeah, it can be hard to see where you're going and what's doing. And like,
Mhm.
oftentimes I don't know how good some skills are because like it's just kind of gets obfuscated by all the numbers.
Yeah, all the damage
Yeah.
and everything, so you don't really know what you're doing and what the
So I
other party
absolutely had
members
to
are doing.
solo a lot of stuff just to kind of experiment and play and just do the arena just to see what works best.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And then it is, I mean, I feel like that is very much a Star Ocean thing, where like battles by the end of the game are just like a, huge
Oh,
chaotic mess.
oh yeah.
Especially in like 5, where you have like all the party members at
Yeah,
once.
definitely.
Yeah.
um but yeah, so and I think it's good too, like that. It's a good point talking about this boss, is like this towards the end of the game, like all the other bosses are kind of just traditional like bigger enemies with like maybe a couple interesting attacks or whatever, but this is really where they're like testing your ability to like change up your formation and
Yeah.
change up
Mhm.
the party and your tactics a little
They
bit.
absolutely give you all the tools that you need. Like
Mhm.
it is absolutely one of those games where it's like it's very hard, but it's very fair.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is
Sort of.
always doable. You just
Yeah.
have to like rethink how you were doing things before. And I like that
Very
the
Queen's
game.
not very fair, but that's okay.
But it's good that the game actually makes you like. This is really where it makes you engage with the systems, and you can't just brute force everything, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's fun seeing so many people drop off Tri-Ace games that way. Like, because like they don't make it. I love Tri-Ace so much. Like, I absolutely love them for this because they do want you to engage with its systems, and they will absolutely make you hit a wall if you don't.
Mm.
Mhm.
And I think that's actually very important because it absolutely makes it stand out compared to a lot of contemporaries where, like, yeah, it's just attack, use your hardest hitting spells and skills.
Mhm.
Like, okay,
Yeah,
I get
it
it,
gives.
but this one, it's like you can sacrifice a weaker piece of equipment if it does have a great effect. I
Yeah.
love
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
That's
All
my
of my
favorite.
characters had some accessory on. I can't remember what it was, but I think it was something to increase their strength, probably. But it made them like take double damage from loads of elements, and
Oh
I didn't even
yeah.
realize until
Oh.
this boss. I can't remember which one it was, but it was towards the end of the game. Who was constantly casting like fire spells and fire
Oh
abilities, and
yeah.
my characters were just
Oh.
like dead
Haniel.
straight
Shredded.
away.
Haniel,
Yeah.
right? One of the wise men.
Yes, yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was, and
What
it
a
took me
monster.
ages to figure out like what the hell was I doing wrong? Like, why suddenly could I just not handle this boss? Yeah, and I had to like look at all the stats on my
Mhm.
character stat screens and everything, and I figured it out. But it's like a whole kind of section of the game that I had not even had to think about before that point.
Yeah. Yeah, the
I
equipment
love
is very important too.
my
Yeah.
crew right now
yeah.
is like rolling with like either half effect or absorb or immune right now. It's wonderful.
Nice. I kind of hated the
Yeah.
combat up until around this point because I was like, oh, it's so simple. And like, I'm just like setting my wild dogs on the enemy, and I'm just hanging back. And I just
Especially
felt
with
like it was
Godspeed, and they're just like running out there like
Yeah.
Yeah.
maniacs.
Dragon
I
Ball
love Godspeed
teleporting
so much.
around. And then so
Oh,
it
it's so
wasn't
good.
until like it became like difficult and like strategic that I'm like I started to actually appreciate, because this is my first Star Ocean game. I was like, okay, like there is a lot of depth to it and like method to the
Mhm.
madness. So I came out quite liking it, like especially after like the post game maze of tribulations.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
that adding that kind of like break system too also adds like a nice dimension to the combat with the
Very
that the
much,
remake
yeah.
added. Yeah. Yeah.
And especially because like it's actually useful to halt the enemy on their track just as much. as they can
Yeah.
use it against you.
Yeah. And you're exactly. And you're not, it's not so much just like, oh, I'm just going to use the art that's like the most damaging art all the time. Like
Yeah.
there's reasons to pick another one.
Getting the chain break is like such a satisfying feeling.
Oh, I know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love
You,
that.
Yeah.
you just break the
Yeah.
big guy, and then it just chains to all the little people, like ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, it
Love
feels
that.
so
Yeah.
good.
And it's funny too, like the sprites will just like they kind of like spin around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like
that's right. Yeah. They look dizzy. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you get we fight that was actually a good sidetrack, because yeah, you fight probably the hardest normal game boss is that
Mhm.
one.
Yeah.
Because again, and especially if you just let that pain accumulate, yeah, it can easily one-shot you if you're not
Yeah.
ready,
Yeah.
if you don't have the right properties and all that stuff. And then, hey, we go to Fun City.
Yeah.
The aptly
Oh
named
yeah.
Fun
Yeah,
City.
Fun City, where because they're like, she's like, oh, I've got to make these weapons. It's going to take me a few days. So why don't you you can just go to the Fun City and then hang out for a while. And then you go there. And so there are like, this is like where a lot of the side activities are. Like the cooking contest is here.
I
And
love the cooking contest.
Me
They literally
too.
made Iron Chef into a side quest, into a mini game.
Yeah.
yeah, so I
Oh
didn't
my
really
God.
mess with a lot of the side stuff in here, but if anybody else did, please feel free to talk about it or gush about it.
The cooking minigame was so
yeah.
much fun.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. I love that there's like a burnout component.
Like the pressure bar, and like you
yeah, the
can
pressure
knock
bar
out
is
your enemies
smart.
by over pressuring them by cooking too delicious of food, and they look at your bowl and they're like, "Oh my god, I can't do it."
Oh no!
You're like psyching them out.
Fantastic.
You
Yeah,
get the pressure knockout where it's like you're just way too stressed to continue.
yeah.
Then they even get like guest chefs and like the specific food you're working with. Like again, it's all very very Iron Chef, which is so
It's like
funny.
it's like oh, the ultimate challenger is like housewife or whatever, like just a regular mom, and she's like
Just
super
normal
jacked
people.
and like Puffy makes an appearance there too as like a secret
Stupid
combatant.
Puffy.
Yeah.
I need to give it a go. I didn't do that. It sounds a bit like the cooking mini game in Suikoden 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Similar.
Yeah.
Just from your description, it sounds similar.
It's like rhythm based slightly. Like you gather ingredients and then like it's randomly based, and then you cook like different qualities of meal with it, and it turns into like a rhythm mini game, and you can like repeat it or
Yeah.
throw in new ingredients, and then once in a while you have to go back and like get new ingredients. So it's really simple, but like there is like with the pressure bar, like which the higher the pressure is, the harder the rhythm timing is. So like
Oh,
yeah, there is some
Yeah.
depth to it, but it was really fun.
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't do the bunny racing.
Yeah, the
I
bunny
just,
racing.
Oh my god,
don't
I
like
did.
the luck
I did everything.
stats. Like, is it actually easy enough? Like, one of the stupid achievements is guessing right 5 in a row.
Yeah,
I'm scared
that's
of
what I
that.
did.
Is
I
that
did it
hard?
for. Okay, so when you enter the bunny race, there's like a really sketchy looking dude in a trench coat that's like, "Psst, over
Okay.
here," and you
Okay.
give him some money, like 200 whatever, like gil or whatever, and he'll
Schmillions, yeah.
yeah, and he'll like predict the winner, and because you also have to predict like the runner up, like 1 and 2. And
Oh,
he's right,
yeah.
like I would say he's right like 85 or like 80% of the time. So I just went with
Oh.
what he said.
Okay, I
And
did it once. I was wrong, and I
yeah.
was like turned off it.
Yeah.
I was lucky
Me too.
15.
Steph's not
Me
a
too.
gambler, yeah.
No.
Oh, there was a trophy involved, so I could not give it up until I got it.
You
That was
you
fun.
had to do it, yeah.
I need help.
Yeah. But it's
I need help. Anyways, about the video game, is we just ignore that plea for help.
Come on,
and I
buddy.
think the other activity here is like the combat arena, right? You
Yeah, just
can-
combat
yeah.
arena. Of
Yeah.
course. What's,
course,
what's
gotta
the
have that.
RPG without the combat
Yeah.
arena?
And I guess story wise, they are kind of doing that. You're like fighting like a simulation of the 10 wise men for like 3 days or something like that, which is
Very
kind of
Dragon
crazy.
Ball.
Off screen.
Yeah.
Yes, like training
Very
arc
Dragon
or
Ball.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It really is.
what is it? The chamber, the
like gravity chamber
Hyperbolic
thing.
time chamber or something.
yeah, hyperbolic
Yeah.
time chamber. Yes, thank
Nice.
you.
Doing like finger push-ups and stuff like that. Yeah.
Then you're doing
and
like all
then-
these like cool super battle skills, and Reina arrives in a pod. Like, y'all, this is just Dragon Ball.
Oh my god, yeah.
In a lot of ways, it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Firing big lasers at
Yeah.
planets.
I mean,
Yeah,
Reina is Goku, I guess. Yeah. That's it.
maybe.
Yeah.
I think so.
And that makes Claude Bulma, right?
Sure.
Well, no, I
Who's
guess
the
he'd be
Yamcha?
Chi-Chi in this case, right?
Oh, right.
But yeah, so they're like training against a simulation that I guess the party just like it's like mops up, they're like, yeah, we're good against the like simulated 10 wise men. And
And
then
they have the simulation data.
yeah,
Why ask why? But yeah, okay, then the real ones come in.
the
It's like,
real
oh
ones
no.
show up. Yeah, and this is actually kind of like a one of the more like, I don't know, horrible or
Dark.
tragic moments, dark
Yeah.
moments. Yeah, because
people getting lasered to death.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's like, what's
What?
what is his name?
The
Is
cyborg
it
guy is
I don't
like,
know.
yeah, like
Jophiel is his
I
name,
think
I think.
so.
Yeah.
He's like,
And
I
he's
love
like,
watching them
Could not
run.
tell you.
Yeah.
yeah, he's just like they're ants, and he's like got the magnifying glass or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's very scary. So you have like the big guy, the warrior guy with the sword, and you fight him first because he's like, I don't know, he wants to challenge you one-on-one. I think Zafkiel, I think is his name.
Zofkiel, yep.
Yeah, and then after fighting him, like Jophiel's going around just like killing random people in the Fun City. So Fun City's not so fun anymore, and you have to
Fortunately,
defeat.
they left the entire building structures completely intact. So Fun
Yes.
City will
Yes.
remain open tomorrow
Yeah,
after we
he-
clean up the dust.
He only cares about killing people. He doesn't care about destroying them.
It's like Disneyland rules. Like they just airlift the bodies out before anyone dies, and you're like, no one's died in Disney. Right? No one's died in Fun City.
Yeah, so you defeat him, and these two aren't that difficult. And then you have to go back to Armlock because Metatron, who is the one that you originally fought in the Illyria Tower, he like goes back to Armlock to try and get to Mirage, to prevent her, I guess, from like making more weapons to defeat them
super
or
weapons,
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you go back to Armlock and you defeat him, and then that's when you go back to Centropolis, so that you at that point you defeated 3 wise men. You're like, okay, we're ready to like go back and take them on. But of course, the mayor tells you that well, those were the 3 weakest wise men. So
Dang it.
the next ones are much more powerful. And you go back in the Harush, takes you back to Phenol, and they also give you a little bit more information, I guess, on like how exactly. I think this is where the party finds out, like, one, that Expel has been destroyed, but 2, that what they're going to do is use like this time distortion device to like bring Expel back from the past, and that doing that is going to require them to sacrifice energy need. So they're kind of giving up their planet to save Expel, which is sad.
They really should have put a few more people on that boat. I don't know. I always get sad. It's like, just
Yeah.
you are the last few survivors. I'm like, aw.
Yeah, I guess like really the only
So
people.
sad.
It's just the party, and then Leon's parents too, I guess, also go back. But yeah, it's very sad.
I wonder if the fishing kid goes back.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
'Cause he
Real, right?
Somehow
Or-
got transported to there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they were on Expel as well, so I
Yeah.
think it's one of those things. I think they're being cheeky. She might be 4D being. If I had to guess, I don't know.
Yes.
What was her name? Was it like Rod or Real or something like
Real.
Real.
Oh, real.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cute. It's cute design.
Hmm. But it is, it's kind of Need has, I guess, reached the kind of end of its life. They feel like they have to like pay for their sins, I guess, of like creating the 10 wise men, and that Expel is like a younger planet, so they want
Yeah, like it
Expel
didn't
to
deserve to
live.
kind of get killed in this.
Yeah.
It's pretty scary. Like when they actually explained it, they're like, they took like Expel off orbit or something like that.
Mhm.
Like it's
Yeah.
pretty crazy what they describe first. Like, I mean, scientific
Mhm.
hocus pocus mumbo jumbo. It's nothing, but like, yeah, it's honestly pretty upsetting to see just Expel get totally destroyed.
Mhm.
And then yeah, so both discs, quote unquote. Both, planet chapters end with them getting destroyed, which is really, really kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, you've almost got like a Full Metal Alchemist like law of equivalent exchange kind of thing going on here,
Yeah.
right?
It's
Like
like,
they
oh, geez.
can't both exist. Only one can continue. Yeah.
And then
Um,
Chisato is one of the people that knew everything all the time, and she was just keeping her
Mhm.
mouth shut about it. Like
Keep
that
her,
was an
yep.
interesting reveal. Like it added depth to her character, like that in the
Her and
files that we
Claude.
find.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I
yeah.
thought it was weird to like lock a lot of the wise men stuff. Like, too bad she wasn't even just a side quest, even if she wasn't a party member. Just to go
Yeah.
find that stuff out about them, where you kind of get their story. You get to find out what's up with Philia.
Mm.
Yes,
Um,
with Dr. What is it, Lantis, right?
Lantis,
Who
yeah.
created them. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I think I actually got that side quest even without her in the party.
Yeah, so did
Oh,
I.
Really?
okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's new then. I'm sorry. Yeah, I usually roll with Chisato, so that's kind of on me. I don't think this was a thing in the original version though. Like, I think once
Ah,
Chisato was
If you
gone,
didn't
I
recruit
don't
her, yeah.
think. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
you could do it.
Yeah.
maybe.
And it's nice
Oh.
because it adds a lot of depth to like the 10 wise men. Like it kind of explains a little bit about like why they're the way they are because
Yeah,
they're
like
really
Gabriel
just
at
like
the end says this is literally our purpose, and
yeah.
he did mean that literally.
Yeah. Yeah. They're really just like living weapons, so them being kind of like bizarre and like so devoted to just destroying the universe like kind of makes sense because they're not
Yeah.
really like yeah.
And so basically, what were they? So it's like Need was like in a warring kind of, yeah, they were going through war, so they made the 10 wise men to kind of quell the
Mhm.
rebellions, but they just
Mm.
kind of completely got out of hand.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think that was the story in a nutshell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then I guess Gabriel is like the consciousness of Dr. Lantis,
Yeah, and
like
Philia is the
yeah.
consciousness of his
of his
daughter or whatever.
daughter. Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
The rebels, I think, killed his daughter or something, didn't they? And then when they did
yeah,
that, he like changed the, I don't know, coding mechanism or
mm-hmm,
whatever of
yeah,
the
to
10
be
wise men to be evil.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because he just doesn't care about anything anymore, and
evil.
No,
nihilism
he's
wants to
had
destroy the
enough.
world. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Which I mean, it's I mean, it's pretty typical like RPG villain kind of stuff. I feel like, but the like science fiction kind of aspect of it adds a little bit of depth and like interesting little wrinkle to it.
Mm.
Yeah, and you have that element of like, what is the, kind of the danger. I feel like it's like the danger of creating these kind of powerful weapons is that then they can be used by somebody who, isn't in their right mind or for their own like selfish ends, and like the impact of that is really big on the whole world, even if they don't deserve it. So yeah, it's I don't know. It kind of makes you think a little bit, even if it's pretty typical stuff. But yeah, so then you go to Phenol, you fight. So that you fight those first three wise men, then you fight the next three wise men. Which I don't know. I thought that fight was pretty easy. Also,
Yeah.
Which one,
uh,
sorry?
the one where you fight the second group of three,
Oh, yeah, they're not bad at that
like the
point.
old guys and the yeah. And then the dungeon, I mean, it's a pretty hefty dungeon. You have like that section where you have like all the color coded doors.
Oh, I felt like such an
Oh,
idiot
yeah.
playing that. I did
I
not.
know. I know.
Well, it's not very clear, but like certain ones when you set the color, and like I think it's like by row, right? So like if you have one color in one row and then you have a different color in a different row, both the colors will stay. But it took me a while to like figure that out. So then that's how
Yeah.
you get all four colors to be open, so you can like go through. But yeah, it's a time consuming one. And by this point, my party's so overpowered that all the enemies are green, so they're just like there's no real fighting. They're all just like going and killing them for me.
I love when they do that. It just cracks me up every time.
Yeah. I will say it does make doing these puzzles like a lot less frustrating because you can
Sure.
focus on the puzzle and
Yeah.
you're not getting interrupted all the
Oh,
time.
there's nothing worse in old school RPG Planet than when you have to solve puzzles to random battles.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
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 So it definitely makes the puzzles a little more bearable, I think. And then the final two fights, I guess against Lucifer and then Gabriel are
Yep.
pretty intense. I know we talked a little bit
Mm.
about this already, but yeah, Lucifer has all these like he can cast death on your party. He has this spell where like it's called like Demon's Gate or something, where like a big like door comes out and then it opens to like the abyss, and this like Reaper kind of thing comes out. That thing is crazy. And
I
then
actually really like the spell effects in this one.
yeah, and some of them like
Um,
Gabriel has some that are like unskippable too,
I thought
where
it was really cool. They did the whole like where it's like they take the sprite sheet and kind of break up the parts so you can move the individual parts for Philia.
oh yeah,
Yeah, like they
where
did
she
that a
kind of
lot
like
for like Pokemon in the NDS generation, Castlevania. Like they
yes.
just kind of had parts the sprite actually moving but like not actually animated. But
Mm-hmm.
it creates a nice
Right.
effect here, and like the revamped Philia sprite. See, I'm talking so much with Star Ocean 2 PS1 in my mind, but like it looks really really good.
Yeah,
Before it was just static, it wasn't as much fun. Now it
yeah,
actually moves. Yeah.
yeah. No, there's some really, really cool spell effects, and these two bosses really like test your party
Did any of you take the
composition.
limiter off?
Oh
No.
yes, so this is where you have to go back, right, and you have to interact with Philia and Centropolis, I think, right, and then is she
Um,
does she dies? Is that right?
yeah, she's killed by her father. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then when you go back and fight him, like I guess, her existence was like keeping him from his full power.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's like a lot stronger.
It's such a cool bonus, like, and it starts
Hmm.
back in
Yeah, and,
Expel in
and
the town that
Kurek.
gets destroyed.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
what a weird thing to hide. And like, yeah, if you do it even accidentally, yeah, you're stuck with a very, very, very hard super boss version of the final boss.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I
And
almost wish more games had a version of this because it's actually good when the final boss is actually a threat and not just something you can
yeah.
rummage
And his
through.
Yeah.
dialogue becomes so much more emotional and like
Hmm.
bitter about like losing his daughter and everything. It's like it's a real like hurt people kind of moment. Like
Hmm.
he became much more like human to me in a way. Like I
Yes.
I
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
liked that.
Without it, I think it doesn't really have like the like narrative weight without
No.
doing that it does when you complete Philia's like little side quest thing. Yeah. But yeah, and then once Gabriel's defeated, that's basically like the end of the game. They have like what did they call it? The symbol of is it like creation
Annihilation or
or
something like that, yeah.
yeah,
I
and
could have
that kind of
sworn that thing was a plot point in Star Ocean 3, but it might be a little different.
yeah, I think there is something similar.
I forgot
Yeah.
exactly what, it's been too long,
Yeah,
but
me too.
yeah,
Yeah.
so the symbols is like the kind of guiding force of the Star Ocean universe.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of give very subtle details about what it's about. Like you talk to Celine a few times and she's like, I can't change my outfit, and like the skin where the symbol is does need to be exposed or something like that. Like it's got its
Mm-hmm.
own whole
Yeah, that's the
hullabaloo of how it works.
justification they used for the character in
Sure.
5 who has
Yeah.
like the checkerboard.
Where's the male mage? Come
Oh boy.
on.
That's some like Kojima like, Metal Gear
Kojima, yeah,
5
breathes
stuff,
through her
right?
skin thing.
like
Yes.
like it would be a little cooler, yeah, if it wasn't just used for like the most hammy, cheesy looking lady designs.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
like could you get like one male mage to kind of balance it up a bit?
Or
No?
Yeah.
Kaide, yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
it's a social
Yeah.
commentary. Like, yeah, I'm not horny at all.
Sure.
Yeah.
Social commentary.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, it kind of like reverses the symbol of destruction, and then need kind of gets like sucked, almost like sucked into like a black hole, and then boom, like expel just like pops out,
Woohoo!
and yeah,
Like nothing ever happened. Like you all were terrifyingly vaporized and obliterated.
yeah,
Ugh. And
yeah,
then if
and
you really, really want, you can go talk to, again, try to figure this out without a guide. If you go talk to a random old man at the very back of the Fun
oh
City Arena,
yes,
Yep.
you can go to VR Expel.
yeah,
And Cynard's
yeah,
there waiting for you. Yay.
What?
yeah,
And Dum Dum.
And
Or
Dum
sorry,
Dum.
what's his name? Yeah.
Dum Dum, you're an
Yep.
idiot. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
That's
nice
the
because then you can ride the sign art around Expel, and yeah,
You get all those treasures you saw from the distance, which was really
Mhm.
funny.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
and that's also
Um,
how you would get like you have to go back to get like the endings right to use the like publication skill or whatever.
Right.
I thought that's a fun workaround to all the
Mhm.
endings. I still kind of gave up after about 28.
Oh
I was
yeah,
like,
I
"Eh,
just
it's
got the
boring."
initial ones that I got this time around, and
Yeah.
I figured
Yeah.
other people would have probably experimented with them. So,
I did use the aphrodisiac to increase it for everybody to the same, because I always
oh
wanted the coveted
yeah,
ending where you get the joint ending where you hang out and do like a big party with
with
everybody.
everybody, yeah.
It's quite a big letdown too. It's literally just like, where's everybody? They're late. It's like, hey, Claude, we're here. All right, like not like nobody even gets a line. It's just
Yeah.
Claude and Rena, and you go, and it's kind of a drag.
Yeah, a lot of the
Uh,
endings are very simple like that. Like I think this time I got
yeah.
the two paired endings I got were Claude and Reyna, obviously, where they're like in like a I guess like a ship or in like Earth maybe, I'm not sure, but Claude like comes home, he's like, "Oh, I have to go, to do this training exercise or whatever." And then Reyna's like, "Well, when you get back, I'm going to be having a baby."
Yeah.
And
Whoa.
that's
Claude's just become his dad. Yeah,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
3 Claude and Reyna endings. One where he lives on Expel, one where she lives with him on Earth, and
Mhm.
the final one
What?
is them on the Calnus. I think they're like both more or less. I think that one would be the one that leads into Star Ocean Blue Sphere, where they're both working for the Federation.
Right, right.
That's so
Yeah.
much
More or
better.
less a couple, yeah.
I got the Expel one, and it was so underwhelmed of just like they're like hanging out on a dock, and he's like, "Yeah, I kind of like it here."
This is nice.
The end.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
like,
I
Yeah.
got
what?
that one too.
There was no
Yeah.
romance behind it. I was like so bummed
Yeah.
out by that. Oh,
No,
that
Yeah,
that-
well,
I
I
guess
mean-
because
baby
he
one.
chose to stay there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
or something.
But like
Yeah.
he kind of like airs his grievances about like being on Earth quite a lot. So I thought this was kind of like his taking a break.
I just
Yeah, and
wanted
I
more
guess
like
too-
resolution
I'm
between
retiring.
them, like the two of them. I wanted more
Yeah.
there. Like it's just like, do you like it here, Claude? Yeah, I do. The end. I'm
Well,
like, whoa.
the
You know.
the one where she says she's pregnant is basically very similar to that. Like it's very simple. Like he's like, "Oh, I've got to leave for this like training exercise thing." And she's like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna
Well, bye.
yeah, when you get back, like there'll be someone else here." And he's like, "What?" And she's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm pregnant." And then that's it.
Yeah.
So, and it's almost it's
What? We did that?
yeah, and I think too,
Yeah.
it's like he's kind of repeating like what his father did in a way. So like it's
Yeah.
like kind of bittersweet. So I think the third one where they're on the Countess together is like really like the best, probably
Yeah.
Claude and Reyna ending.
Yeah.
And then I also the other paired ending I got was Ashton and Celine, which was kind of
Oh, cool.
funny because they were like at a store buying clothes. And Celine is like, "Oh, well, does this one look good on me or does this one look good on me?" And he's like, "Oh, well, they're both fine." And she's like, "Oh," so she's like, "You don't like either of them?" And he's like, "Oh no, they both look great." And she's like, "Good, I'm gonna buy both of them." And he's like, "Wait, what?" And that's it.
So it's
But
just
it's
like
cute.
boomer
Yeah.
humor,
My
favorite
basically.
one was-
Yeah. They
Yeah.
actually did do the effort for as many of them there are, and there are like a few unique ones. Like you get like Celine with the prince and
Oh, yeah.
Ashton with the
Oh,
girl that he
yeah.
saves.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, I got those too. And then my favorite one was DS and Noelle. It's
Oh, what
actually kinda
happens?
funny.
Oh yeah, what's that
Um,
one?
Basically, they're like BFFs for life, and DS is trying to wake Noelle up, and he's like, "God, you sleep forever."
Because yeah, it's really hard to find Diaz like having fun with anybody. Like
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like they're
Yeah.
just kind of hanging out together and
Oh,
having
they're such
fun.
an odd couple because like Noelle
Yeah.
is so like chill and nice, and Diaz is so like dark and brooding.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. I got so many
probably
of
my
like
favorite. Oh, sorry, go.
I got so many of like single women who were like, well, I didn't get a boyfriend this time, but I'll get it next time. You know, I was like, that's
also
it.
the Chisato solo, like she's like one of the last needians. It's like, man, I'm
Yeah.
bored.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
Chisato
yeah,
solo
exactly.
one is sad. Yeah, because she's just
Yeah.
like
It
stuck
is.
on Expel. Like yeah.
And
I do think
Welch
the
and
endings.
Prekiss are trying to like pick up guys, which is funny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The priestess and Welch is them trying and failing to pick up guys. Like them two are literally just the same character. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's funny.
Like in terms of romance, like I will say that like Claude and Rena do have their moment in the weapon lab forest, and like if you get like the highest rating between them, they absolutely do like have a makeout on the beach.
Yeah, that was great.
Mhm.
They kinda make that a
Yes,
little more
for
clear.
yes, the
story
beach.
reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, because I
That
agree.
beach scene.
The endings are kind of underwhelming. The one with like if you have an opera one and you get to see what her planet looks like for a brief instant, which is really really cool.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
I got a joint
Uh,
one with her with Leon, which was a
Oh,
bit of a
cool.
weird combo.
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess you just use them a lot.
It was quite
Yeah.
sweet though, actually, because it was like I think they had a couple of private actions together in the game where she was very like caring about what because he'd lost his parents, obviously,
Mhm.
and it was quite sweet, and it was kind of like a sort of conclusion to that sort of um like nurturing relationship
Aw,
that she had.
Yeah.
So that one was quite
that's
nice.
cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think Ernest's was with Bowman, maybe. I
Ye-
ended up with some really
Interesting.
weird like paired
Yeah.
endings in mine, and then Celine, she was just on her own, I think.
Dang.
She
Oh.
was
I think
she
she
was
finds like
just
a
out
scrap piece
there.
of paper and
Yeah.
she's just like frustratedly looking for the next big treasure. I do think they kind of like infer with the really nice ending theme, by the way. Like they seem to infer that like the Federation, I guess, does come to Expel given everything that's happened. Like they do seem to have now contact with Expel. Like it or not, even though they try not to fuss with past planets, like planets stuck in the past, like it does seem
Mhm.
like, if you already know about it, you might as well just kind of strike up that kind of conversation. And you see the Synard, so the Synard live, they're both flying around together. So I guess more or less a happy ending without
Yeah.
need, but EN2 is out there somewhere in its
Hmm.
a weird floating cube form.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it does make sense. Like, if you have to choose between need and expel, like need going away, like they're kind of like paying for their mistakes in a way, whereas expel was like the planet that was innocent and just kind of swept up in all this stuff. So it's like I don't know. I guess you could feel good about that, but
Yeah.
And the
yeah,
Needians had like a billion years to enjoy life.
True.
You know what I mean? It's like
True.
give
Over
other planets a
700
chance.
million.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Like you've
Yeah,
had
they
your
almost
time
have
in the
that
sun.
like elves from the Lord of the Rings thing where they're like, we're
Grey
tired of being
Havens.
on this planet. Yeah, like we need to just leave and it's our time to go kind of thing. Yeah.
I
Be
cry
sure
every
to
time.
save the children.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. That's true.
But whatever. They're all dead now. So the Maze of Tribulations.
Man, I wish I got a boyfriend. Oh yeah, those kids all died. Oh well. Like, oh my
Oh
god, she's
well.
not
Oh
dead.
well.
So anyways, the Maze of Tribulations is like the best dungeon. It is so wacky. It is so wild. It is so hard. It is so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what, like
Uh,
13 floors or so,
yeah, and they
right?
really
Yeah.
throw just all the best of it in there. Like if all the other
Mhm.
dungeons are too basic, here comes this one to be just completely weird and pain in the ass.
Yeah, I feel like
Like
Trice games always have like good post game content, and this game
always,
is
yeah.
no exception. Yeah.
I especially love the floor that's like it's like, all right, go back to the beginning and come
Yeah.
back as 2. It's like,
Yep.
okay. So
It's
you
like
take
it's like
the
floor like
portal.
10. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like
like
all the
you
way.
take the portal. It's like to at least save yourself a few floors, but yeah, you still got to travel about 5 of them anyways. And they're like and like they pull a fast one too. They're like, I don't know if you went back to the very start and came back through it. ... But I have no way of knowing this, so I'll let you play. I'll let it pass.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, oh
That's
my
right.
god, that was so cheeky. Then you have like the one with Puffy where you just cook a bunch of stuff. Then there's one with a whole bunch of hidden walls, and I thought priestesses. Oh yeah, I did want to get into like there's like a lot of the final weapons which are specifically catered to the main cast. Welch's is really funny because hers is in a treasure room with a bunch of dud items.
Yeah.
And yeah, Locked with Hers is the best one, and the effects of it are kind of hilarious. Okay, so Priestess's ultimate weapon is the Gutsy Handy Stick. So for 1 male in the party, it will always hit, no misses. For 2 men in the party, it negates stagger. And for 3 men in the party, you get a bonus attack up of 3,000, which
Oh my god.
like
yeah.
effectively between her and again Priestess, they are the 2 best characters in the game, which is funny because they're a lot alike.
You mentioned like the puffy one, like that one really made me laugh. Where you're cooking food and feeding it to a giant stone idol, and it's
Yeah,
like
giant
me
stone
want
face.
more, like num nums, and like you're feeding it like dishes, and then gradually it just starts putting like trash into your inventory, and it's like you start feeding it like spoiled milk and like old cheese and stuff like that, until the statue gets like sick, and then like Puffy comes out like all dizzy and like nauseous. I thought that was so like weird but funny. Like
I won the battle arena with Priestess, and they bring Puffy out as like the special guest to like to present flowers and kiss the opponent on the cheek or whatever. And it's so stupid. She's like, I didn't want to do this, and like I don't like girls. And Priestess is like, me neither. Like it's so stupid. Game is like goes between like being either very dry or being very just silly, goofy, and a little dumb.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love it all the same.
It
Don't
doesn't
even
take
get me
itself
wrong.
too seriously.
No,
Yeah. Yeah.
no, absolutely not. I did like in the final floor of the Maze of Tribulations when it's not playing the awesome Mission to Deep Space. They kind of play that just like that kind of chorusy kind of song and throw out like the hardest enemies at you. Yeah, no, that was a good dungeon. And then down there you can fight Gabriel Celeste, and which also leads to Azaria Queen. Uh, they are so hard.
They just like turn into like spinning razor blades and just like bounce around the arena. Like you
That
can't
evil
touch them.
Beyblade attack is the meanest of them all. Yeah.
Yeah. They let
Like
it
you can
rip.
set up against just about everything else, but as soon as she starts whipping out the Beyblade attack, it becomes so hard to dodge, and like your party's basically your party AI is just too dumb to really navigate it.
Yeah, they just run
Ugh,
around like
it's
chickens with their
annoying,
heads
yeah.
cut off. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so at least they give you huge like options to take it on with at least. Just about all the parties are viable. All the characters are pretty viable these days. And like not to just completely switch gears, but like I am so happy with this version. I have loved like some people calling for like a Star Ocean 3 art to be a demake with the 2D art and like this. And I keep imagining it because I think it would just be the funnest thing on the planet.
Yeah, like having the presentation of the original, but um with some of the
Yeah, but
updated
to do
quality
Star
of
Ocean
life
3 that
stuff.
way,
Yeah.
oh god, it
Oh
would be so
yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean I do really like the remake. I mean it definitely like makes a lot of things like each, I mean it cuts the runtime basically in half, and like there are
Yeah,
some ways in which I think, I could see why people wouldn't like that. There is some of the like mystery is lost, or some of the like there's a little bit of that, but I do think that like to make the game like more like approachable, or um easy for people to get into these days, like I think it does a really great job of
yeah.
that. And it's a really good, like, even though there are like things that like from First Departure
Mhm.
that you like definitely help with playing this one.
The demake of 3 and like the style of 2 and how it's really approachable. They
Super,
I
yeah, super
I
Yeah.
mean, like,
approachable.
I loved everything about this, like, and it made me want, like, lots of other games of that era to be remade in this style. Because 'cause I'm like, yeah, like,
Mm.
especially for games that I've already experienced, it's like, I don't need to experience the grind again. Because like, frankly, I'm an adult and I don't have time to, like,
Yeah,
for random encounters as
Hmm.
much anymore. Like I just loved like this one cut straight to the good stuff, and it was
yeah.
beautiful to look at. Like I liked the kind of more 3D art style, like slightly
Hmm.
3D, a little bit more than like say like Octopath Traveler, like which is a little more like on a grid.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the eight
Yeah, they
directions
do a
was
lot.
nice.
This one was
Yeah.
really fun. Yeah, it's a lot more in depth where it like takes you into the scene and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
like actual like framing and like the lighting, like they paid a lot of attention to like lighting the scenes and like the environments and everything. Like it definitely feels like they tried to use the best aspects of like having a more 3D environment.
It's a
So
really thoughtful remake. Like you can tell it was not just remaking, it was improving in even just small ways. Like if the dungeon was too simple, they added something to just make it a little more interesting.
yeah.
They added like the scenic points, they added fishing, more items that do interesting things, so it was thoughtful to every aspect of what the game was already doing.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
really appreciate it for that. Like,
Yeah. And
I think this is the gold standard of how you remake an old game.
yeah. Yeah,
It
absolutely.
scratched my like RPG brain in so many ways of just like menus, and like, yes, I'm getting stronger by like learning how to cook, and like it just it was so satisfying in that way. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got stronger by learning how to cook.
it doesn't lose any of the depth of the original, like in all the systems, and you can really spend a lot of time playing with everything and experimenting with everything.
On the
And
contrary, yeah, it's more because
yeah.
like actually like the crappy characters are now actually very
Mhm.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they've buffed everybody. So yeah, there's just more variety, I think, in this version of the game. Even if they sanded off some of the rougher edges. But I think they did that in like the best way, because like I don't know that the random encounters, especially I feel like in a game like this, where it's not really like there's not really like resource management or things like that going on, so it doesn't really affect the game balance at all to like have
Oh
the
god, no!
on-field
If anything, the game is like
encounters.
throwing resources at you. Like there were
Yeah,
times I was like, no, I have too many of these, please.
yeah, yeah. It's just a game that kind of benefits. And there's other games, like I think Dragon Quest 7, like for example, they did that remake on the 3DS and they put on-field encounters, and like there's a lot of ways in which that doesn't work. Like they didn't change the dungeons to accommodate for that. So and it just there's some ways in which the random encounters like better there, but here it just makes a lot of sense. And even like even like when they did like I've been playing around a little bit with Blue Sphere just from finishing this, just because it like won a little more Star Ocean too, and like there that has on-field encounters, so it's like where they were heading. It doesn't really feel like out of time with the original, to kind of have those changes, and it makes the game just a lot more fun to revisit and replay. Um, which I think the game is kind of designed for that, right? But it's kind of a slog in the original to go back through and play the opposite story and try to do everything, and this makes it a lot easier.
Is there a
Yeah,
game
no,
that you
this
all want to see done in this style one day?
Xenogears.
Yeah,
Oh, good
that's a
call.
good one.
Mm,
Yeah, that could really use, and I think it would work really well because you already have that kind of sprites on 3D backgrounds look to the game already. So that could be really cool. Yeah.
I don't know. I maybe like Grandia, possibly,
Oh,
Hmm.
nice one.
because that one was already using 3D environments anyway, but they really need they could do with a bit of a revamp.
A polish up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say the Legend of Heroes Gagarv trilogy.
Oh,
nice.
yeah, that's
Oh.
a good.
Nobody talks about those ones anymore.
Yeah.
They're really
Well,
good, though.
and
Nobody talks about that Legend Heroes. It's just all trails
Yeah.
now.
I think it's
I know.
because the Western release of those was so kind of
Bad.
bad. Like the
Yeah.
translations are so bad. Yeah,
They were
and
my first PSP game though, so they hold a firm place in my heart. But
Yeah,
yeah,
a
they
little
need
bit of
they need to
nostalgia.
be reloved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they released them in like the wrong order too.
Yeah.
Like I think they released like the second one first, right? Tear of Vermilion or whatever. Yeah,
Mhm.
just that Konami. I think weren't they the ones doing those? It
It
was
was either
like really
Konami or
bad.
Bandai. I can't
Yeah.
remember which one.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a good one, Audra. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
I was thinking like
Yeah.
Breath of Fire 2 maybe, just because
Oh.
it was like
Yeah.
Oh,
a
yeah.
great
Mhm.
game, like a great story, but like
Mhm.
it's bogged down by a lot of like old
Archaic.
stuff.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Poor translation and
That was another one of those games you
unexplained
were hiking
mechanics.
out of the dungeon yourself after a very long
Yep.
random battlefield dungeon.
Mhm.
Like, kill me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just kill me.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the escape spell never works for anything. It's like, oh, okay, why did you put this in my inventory? Thank you. Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I think this is maybe a little bit better in some ways than the like HD 2D style. And
I actually really much agree with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. Me too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it definitely feels a little more like fully featured and justifies, I think, the remake a little more. And I know now they're doing like the Dragon Quest ones. They're adding like more like classes and like story content and characters and stuff to try to make those games like more necessary as like a remake, like a reason to play it other than just the visuals.
Yeah.
But I think I would like to see them go back to like this style for some of those remakes as opposed to the HD 2D. because it's nice. It's a new take on the world, in a way, and it kind of like breathes new life into the game. I feel like in a way those HD 2D games don't do as much.
It feels like they already hit like a ceiling with the HD 2D.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and especially when you do keep it grid based like that, and yeah, like and you know what? Also ruining it is the stupid 4 directional movement. Like it actually
Yeah.
helps to have that dynamic movement where you can move any direction you want. I think it's why Star Ocean 2 has aged so well too, and that you can have all your party members running around because they actually put that effort into animating all these characters so many directions. Stupid Suicune 2 did that. They actually made it 8 directions instead of 4,
Mhm.
Yeah,
which is
Mhm.
so cool because you don't have to kind of zigzag to move diagonally anymore,
Right. Yeah.
which was so
Yeah.
weird and annoying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
if we could
No.
like forget that Secret of Mana remake and like make it again in this
Yeah.
style, that would be so good looking. It would look
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Yeah.
you remake Secret of Mana and make it just as janky as the old one.
Lots of pausing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one, yeah. Oh, and it doesn't look. It just looks very cheap too. It's like there's like the
Yeah.
worst of the original and the worst of like a new remake.
Yeah. How?
Yeah. Yeah.
I really, really, really want to know what Gem Drops works on next, though, because I need more. I really
Mm,
need more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like just the amount of replay I've even gotten out of a game I've already replayed a lot, which is pretty
Mhm.
crazy. Like, give me more.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious where Star Ocean goes from here because
Same.
I
Yeah, I
don't
don't
know
know.
that Star Ocean 6, even though I really like that game, I don't know that it
I'd kill for another
was
2D game or like this kind of 2D
yeah.
3D kind of business. Like,
Yeah.
Well, maybe they could do Blue Sphere in this.
I was thinking that too. Yes. Oh my god, to actually adapt Blue Sphere like this would be so crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it could definitely use the touch up, that's for
It was
sure.
one of those like late Game Boy games that actually looked
Mhm.
pretty good for its time. Like it
Yeah.
released super late.
But
What was
definitely
it?
like pushing up against what the limitations of the Game Boy Color is able
Oh my
to
god,
do.
the game was released on my birthday, but 2001. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, really
Um,
very late for a Game Boy
yeah,
Color.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's been lovely talking to you guys. I
Yeah,
think,
this was a lot of fun.
yeah, it was so
Yeah,
much fun.
likewise.
Yeah, yeah, I was glad to talk about, one of my most beloved classic RPGs, and I think we all, everybody kind of had a unique perspective on it, which is always really great. Makes for good listening, I
Definitely
think.
inevitable when
Yeah.
like there's so many options with the characters.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which is really cool.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, we'll do a little bit of housekeeping. So, coming in 2 weeks, I think, is going to be the Final Fantasy Tactics retrospective. And then I'm not sure really what's coming after that. But Zach, we'd be back to normally scheduled programming with Zach hosting. So, I'm sure he will let you guys know what's coming up next. You can email us, of course, to get in touch with the show at retro@rpgfan.com. You can follow us on social media: Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Twitter, Blue Sky, Twitch. We got a YouTube channel. And Scott's always streaming on Twitch, so check that out. And those are RPG Fan or RPG Fan Com, those channels. And then you can also join the RPG Fan Discord and hang out with everybody. We also have the RPG Fan Shop that's hosted by TeePublic. You can get like shirts and mugs and baby onesies and all kinds of good stuff on there. And there's also the review card book from Hyperplay RPG, which is great. It's a bunch of the review cards that get posted on social media. Steph makes a lot of those. And yeah, those are both available. There's links on RPG Fan for those. And then of course we have our other podcasts, Random Encounter and Rhythm Encounter. So Random Encounters, just the latest things that are happening in RPGs, and Rhythm Encounter is nice deep dives into different series music or music from a particular game, and those are always a really lovely listen. You can also review us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, wherever. We love to get feedback from listeners. and then we'll do where you can find everybody. So you can find me, you can email me at benloganlove@gmail.com. And then where can they find you, Steph?
You can find me most anywhere online as Dice, like playing dice, Dice SMS.
All right.
Follow me. I do a lot of art stuff, which is always fun.
Yeah. Rob, how about you?
I'm on Blue Sky Neon Cowboy.
Matt?
Check out my stuff at rpgfan.com. I'm coming out of my grave right now, and I guess my writing at mattwardellwrites.wordpress.com if you like science fiction.
And I'm sure people who are listening to a Star Ocean episode, they do like science fiction.
2 hours into a Star Ocean 2 podcast, yeah, probably.
And Audra, how about you?
You can reach me at email at audrab@rpgfan.com.
All right. Well, thank you all, and thank you, listeners, and good night and good luck.